Princess Lilibet entered the room as if the world had been waiting for her arrival, her tiny feet padding softly against the wooden floor, making each step a quiet announcement of her presence. At first glance, Princess Lilibet might have looked like any other child enjoying a night indoors, but on her, the most enchanting and captivating dress awaited to be noticed, a black and red checked dress from Hope and Henry. From the moment Princess Lilibet wore it, it was clear that this was not just any dress. The pattern, bold yet understated, seemed to glow in the warm light, its deep red squares outlined in rich, precise black lines. The contrast gave the fabric structure, while maintaining a playful rhythm that danced across the eyes of anyone who looked at her. It was an outfit that could have been lifted from a storybook, a timeless piece meant to be remembered, cherished, and admired. As Princess Lilibet twirled, the skirt responded with gentle movement, swirling softly and creating delicate folds that reflected the light with every turn. It was almost as if the dress had its own personality, animated by her laughter and energy. Princess Lilibet spun once, then again, and with every rotation the fabric seemed to come alive, tracing arcs in the air that mimicked the innocence and joy in her heart. Her laughter, clear and carefree, filled the room and mingled with the soft rustle of cotton and the faint, structured crispness of the black lining. In that moment, the dress was not just a piece of clothing, it became a crownless crown, a symbol of childhood charm elevated to the level of royalty. It was a celebration of Princess Lilibet's presence, her spirit, her undeniable charisma. The dress, sourced from Hope and Henry, had a story before it even touched Princess Lilibet's shoulders. Hope and Henry is a brand that values care, sustainability, and thoughtful design, creating garments not for fleeting trends, but for meaningful, lasting wear. Every stitch seemed to carry intention, every piece born of respect for children and families who understand the value of quality over quantity. It travelled across seas, from the hands of creators who cherished their craft, to a boutique or warehouse that prepared it for its journey into the world. And somehow, through fate or careful choice, it found its way to Princess Lilibet, to her tiny frame, and became inseparable from her presence. That connection, invisible to most but unmistakable to anyone paying attention, gave the dress a deeper significance than mere fashion. It became a part of Princess Lilibet's story, a chapter of her childhood lived in style, warmth, and comfort. When Princess Lilibet first wore it, it was still available in Hope and Henry's online collection, nestled among other girls' dresses, each with its own charm and personality. But the black and red checked dress stood out immediately, attracting attention from parents, fans, and admirers alike. Its combination of elegance and playfulness made it highly desirable. Before long, whispers began to circulate. The dress was disappearing fast. Shopping carts filled, sizes were claimed, and soon the Add to Cart button was replaced with the words that would make this dress legendary: sold out. In an instant, it became a rare treasure, coveted not just for its beauty, but for its scarcity. It was no longer simply a dress to buy. It was a story, a memory, a piece of Princess Lilibet's childhood captured in fabric that few would ever get to wear. The scarcity of the dress added to its allure. Online searches returned empty pages or second-hand resale listings, dusty corners of the internet where those who had missed out could only admire photographs and descriptions. The black and red checked dress became a symbol of something everyone wanted, but only one had in that magical moment. And Princess Lilibet, the little princess who wore it, became inseparable from the legend. Her presence elevated the dress elevated her. Together, they became an image of joy, of childhood celebrated in its purest, most enchanting form. There is a particular magic in the way children inhabit their clothing, a magic that adults often miss. With Princess Lilibet, the dress was more than fabric. It was a partner in her playful exploration of the world. She reached for a toy on a nearby table, the skirt swaying gently around her knees. She sat down to read a book, and even as she turned the pages, the folds of her dress maintained their elegant structure. Each moment was a study in motion and stillness, in how a simple, beautifully made garment could harmonize with a child's natural energy and charm. The dress, though sold out, became immortalized in those movements, a snapshot of Princess Lilibet's childhood captured in a fleeting yet unforgettable moment. It was not only the design that drew attention, but the subtle craftsmanship, the delicate details that might escape a casual observer. The fabric, soft and breathable, had been carefully selected for comfort and durability. The stitching was precise, the seams unobtrusive yet strong. The collar and cuffs added refinement without being restrictive, allowing freedom for every jump, every spin, every burst of laughter. The colours, chosen with care, complemented Princess Lilibet's hair, her skin and her bright eyes, enhancing the natural glow of childhood innocence. And as she moved, the dress seemed to anticipate her every action, responding with elegance, grace, and a hint of theatricality that made her the centre of attention without her even trying. Even after the dress disappeared from the official Hope and Henry site, it left a trail of admiration. Conversations in parenting forums and social media groups reflected fascination, envy, and longing. Parents sought similar patterns, retailers noted increased interest, and the story of the dress spread like a small, heartwarming legend. Its sold-out status did not diminish its beauty. If anything, it enhanced it, transforming it into a symbol of rare joy and fleeting childhood magic. The dress was a reminder that sometimes beauty is not just in availability, but in the memory of it, the imagination it inspires, and the happiness it carries. Princess Lilibet herself was the embodiment of that happiness. She carried herself with a gentle pride, a quiet dignity that spoke of innate royalty rather than entitlement. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, and her smile radiated warmth. Every twirl, every clumsy step, every burst of laughter enhanced the story woven into the black and red checked fabric. In her, the dress found life. In the dress, she found expression. It was a symbiotic relationship, a dance between garment and wearer, story and storyteller, magic and reality. To watch Princess Lilibet was to understand that a child's charm can transform even a simple dress into a crown, a celebration, a moment to remember forever. Even the setting of the room seemed to join in the celebration. The soft glow of lamps, the warm wood of the floors, the muted tones of the walls, everything combined to create a stage for Princess Lilibet and her dress. Shadows shifted and moved with her, light caught the folds of her skirt, and the room became a theatre of childhood wonder. The atmosphere enhanced the story, making the dress not just clothing, but part of a scene, part of a memory that would last long after the moment had passed. Princess Lilibet's small hands reached for a doll, and she lifted it, holding it with care as if to include it in her royal court. Her laughter mingled with the swish of the skirt, the playful hum of her tiny steps, and the quiet magic of a room suddenly transformed into a palace of imagination. Every glance, every gesture was accentuated by the black and red checked pattern, which seemed to give rhythm to the scene. Even those who observed from afar could feel the energy, the delight, the unmistakable aura of innocence and charm. In every sense, the dress was perfect for Princess Lilibet. It was comfortable enough for play, elegant enough for admiration, and unique enough to become unforgettable. It carried the essence of Hope and Henry: care, quality, attention to detail, and love for childhood. It was a reminder that sometimes the simplest things can carry the greatest beauty, and that fashion, when done thoughtfully, can be more than appearance. It can be memory, story, and legacy. As the night went on, Princess Lilibet continued to move through the room, unaware of the admiration her dress inspired. She chased after a small ball, picked up scattered books, and twirled again, and with each action, the black and red checked dress followed, responded, and enhanced the magic of the moment. She was royalty not because of crowns or jewels, but because of her energy, her laughter, and the way she made an ordinary evening extraordinary. And in that dress, sold out and rare, Princess Lilibet became the living embodiment of childhood wonder, a princess of storybook charm, a queen of hearts unseen, but felt by all who watched. The story of the dress, its journey, its moment with Princess Lilibet, and its sold-out status became a legend in its own right. Parents spoke of it in hushed tones, fans admired it from afar, and online searches tried fruitlessly to locate another. It was a treasure no one could replicate because its magic was in her presence, her personality, her movement, and her laughter. The black and red checked dress from Hope and Henry was no longer just a garment. It had become a memory, a story, a symbol of fleeting yet unforgettable childhood moments. And so, Princess Lilibet continued her evening, unaware of the legend she had created, twirling, laughing, and living fully in the moment. The dress, the room, the light, and her spirit combined into something unforgettable, a memory that would linger long after the night had ended. In the eyes of anyone lucky enough to witness it, Princess Lilibet was all crown, all charm, all joy, and every fold of that black and red checked dress was a testament to the magic of childhood captured in fabric. By the end of the night, as Princess Lilibet rested quietly, the folds of her dress draped gently around her, the story remained, the story of a little princess, a rare and enchanting dress, and the moment they became inseparable. Even sold out, even out of reach, the dress lived on, immortalized in her laughter, her steps, her spins, and the hearts of those who had the privilege of seeing her. It was more than a dress. It was a crownless crown, a storybook tale, a memory, and the perfect reminder that magic exists in the simplest things, waiting to be worn, lived, and cherished.